Hello guys, I'm Viomesh Singh. Welcome to my channel. Uh, in today's video, we are going to talk about one of the best company in software industry, Adobe, and with Navpreet Kaur. Navpreet Kaur just nailed the internship in Adobe for Product Intern. So she is going to share her interview experience as well as her preparation strategy with us. And maybe at the end, she might give you some tips as well. Welcome Navpreet. Welcome to my channel.
Hi, my name is Navpreet Kaur and I'm currently pursuing Bachelor's of Technology in Computer Science from IGTTUW College. Recently, I have bagged an internship offer from Adobe as a product intern role. And about myself, if I have to say something, I am very much enthusiastic about problem solving. So I am fond of solving data structures and algorithm problems in various platforms like Lead Code, CodeChef, HackerEarth, etc. And I'm continuously participating in the coding contests that are held in that website. Apart from this, I've also participated in Google Kickstart, Round G and Round F, also in Atlassian's Hack at Home hackathon last year. And also, I was selected for a Microsoft Codes program.
You have participated in many competition and participated in many hackathon and selected for participated in Google Kickstart and Microsoft Codes. So
Yes.
thing is, when did you start your journey? Means you are now in third year only, and you have so much in your resume. So when did you start and how did you prepare yourself?
From third semester, I was like, I started from basic data structures and algorithm problems by taking a course from an institute. After completing it on January, I started the preparation on my own, like practicing questions from Lead Code, HackerEarth, HackerRank, etc. And till July, I was practicing everything on my own. And during June and July period, I was also, enrolled in, like selected for Codes program of Microsoft. So side by side, I was also making that project. So this was like in my second year, I have done these things. So yeah, these have helped me a lot. I mean, I was mainly focused on coding skills, so that's why I was not much into development part. And only if I have to say, only grip on coding has helped me to ace the interview of Adobe.
Okay, so guys, try to start as soon as you can, even in the first year or third sem, because in the fifth semester you are going to face companies for internship. So it takes time to learn things. So it would be better you can start early. And now we will talk about the Adobe itself. So what was the selection process of Adobe?
Okay, firstly, there was eligibility criteria which was based on CGPA, and students above 7 CGPA were allowed to sit for the tests, and there was no criteria on backlogs. There was only one online test and one interview round, and the profile which was offered by Adobe was product intern role.
Now, Preet, tell us about your written test and online coding round experience of Adobe.
Okay, in the online round, we had an aptitude section, one coding section, and essay writing section. In aptitude section, we had five further sections, and in coding section, there were two coding questions, and in essay writing section, we were asked to write an essay or a paragraph on the topic that was given.
Okay, there
In
was five subsection in the aptitude section. So what was their section and how many questions in each section?
Okay, in each section, there were five MCQs, and the topics that were on which the MCQs were based were mostly maths based topics like permutation, combination, probability, and logical reasoning. Whatever we have done in class 10th or class 12th, that type of maths was asked basically. Not even a single question from OOPS, OS, or DBMS was asked.
So, guys, the aptitude was totally based on the math and even detailed math. No, there was no technical
Yes.
aptitude. And again, after that, there is also a coding section as well. There were the two coding questions. So, what was the question? What was the difficulty level of those questions?
Actually, I don't remember the questions, but one question was array-based question, and another question was string-based question. And the first question, which was array-based, was very easy, and the second question was medium to hard level, I would say.
And what was the essay about?
In essay writing section, I was asked to share an experience of hackathon or any project which I have done in a team, and if I get an opportunity again to perform in that hackathon or project, so how would I improve it? It was basically on that experience of mine.
That is like quite big written test or online coding round. Five aptitude section, one two online coding question plus essay. So how much time they have given for they given to solve it?
It was 1 hour 45 minutes, as
Okay,
far as I remember.
so that is quite rigorous.
Yes.
So after that, there was only one technical round. So how was your experience of technical round experience of Adobe?
The interview was scheduled for 1 hour, but it was stretched to 40 minutes more. So it was long. Basically, it started with my introduction. Firstly, interviewer introduced himself, then he asked me about my introduction. Afterwards, he was actually seeing my CV, so he asked me a little bit about Microsoft Codes program. So I gave him brief introduction about it, and he said that we would have a discussion, detailed discussion on that project afterwards. So before that, he asked me about my favorite subjects from my curriculum, and I replied that I was comfortable in both operating system and OOPS. So after that, he asked me questions from OOPS like multi-threading, multitasking, a detailed difference between processes and threads. And also he asked me like two three situation based questions in which he asked me what should I prefer, processes or threads. And afterwards, he asked me questions from OOPS that were based on encapsulation, data hiding, polymorphism, and difference between two types of polymorphism, and classes, structures. In OOPS, it was like basics. He asked me basics of OOPS, but in OS, he
So
has taken me into depth of the topics.
So it's like he touched both the subjects very deeply and basic as well. So once he covered your subject part or theoretical subject parts, he might have asked something else about your project or your coding, some coding question. So how was you went ahead?
Yes, after the subjective part, I was asked to code a linked list question, which was like reverse linked list, and we had to. I was asked to do it both recursively and iteratively, and I had coded both the ways. So he was comfortable with both the answers which I had given. We discussed the test case, edge cases, and all the types of test cases that were handled by the code that I had written, and he was perfectly fine with that. Afterwards, he said that we should continue with verbal discussion. I was not supposed to write the code on editor. So he asked me a question on linked list detection, cycle detection, and cycle removal. Afterwards, he asked me one question of largest area of histogram. It's also a very famous question and available on Geeks for Geeks. And I for this question, I gave him two solutions. The first solution was brute force, based solution, and the second solution was stack based solution, and he was okay with the verbal discussion, or I was able to explain the whole algorithm to him and the test cases also. And he was fine with my answers.
Okay, so he asked this much coding questions. Apart from that, did he also ask some project or your previous experiences?
Yes, I had mentioned the Codes project in my resume. So he asked me questions from that project, like my contribution and what was the basis of that project in a layman language, and what where I have deployed that project, and whatever technical stack I have used in that project. He asked me these type of questions from project part, and it was
Okay.
like 10-minute discussion on project.
So once he done with the project, so interview wrapped up or he asked something else also.
Yes, he asked me. He told me that he would ask a situation based question, which would be a hard question, and he would be helping me out to figure out the solution for that.
So what was that
And
tough question?
it was basically we were given 5 to 6 classes, and at a particular time, 2 classes can interact and enhance functionality of each other. It was, I think this was the question. Yes.
So you are facing it first time and it is hard one. So how did you solve it that time? Because you have not prepared for it. So how did you answer that time? How did you face the pressure and what kind of help he provided you that time?
So basically, I mean, it was a very new question. So I related it with oops firstly because it was based on classes. So I thought what could be related to it. Like I suggested him like we can make friend classes, all the classes friend as friend class of each other. He said, I mean, whatever I was thinking, I was continuously telling that to interviewer, and he was trying to help me out by correcting me, and whatever I was saying, he was just he tried to explain me the question again and again by giving me many more examples. And at the end, when I told him that we can make a generic class in which we can include all types of functions that are required by the classes, and we all the classes can use that generic function, so he was comfortable with this solution. I mean, whatever thoughts I had in my mind, I conveyed them to the interviewer. And whenever I was going wrong, he told me that this approach is not right, or I should think something else. By giving, he was also giving me many examples during this discussion.
So guys, whenever there is a hard questions in the interview, uh, try to explain whatever you are thinking to interviewer so he or she can help you in the process. Like interviewer help Navpreet in this process. You might have learned many things. You need not to mention everything in the resume. You should mention only those things where you are 100% sure. Otherwise, you will stuck somewhere. In the it does not matter there are so many skills in your resume or not, because he's not expecting that much from you. Like you are writing machine learning, data science, and all. He are not looking for that. He's just looking for your development part. What have you learned in the process of developing something and how good your coding is. These two things matters a lot. So Napreet, you were selected for Microsoft Codes program. So tell us
Yes, sir.
how can anyone apply for the Microsoft Codes? What is the selection process of Microsoft Codes? So thanks Navpreet. I think that's quite enough and you gave us very useful information.
Thank you so much for considering me to give interview
You are
to share
selected in
my interview
Adobe. I think their stipend is much more than many of people's salaries.
experience. Yes, I was like also a bit shocked, but I was not much like that. I was not much fond of stipend part. I just wanted to get into a good company to learn, to have a good experience, and to get
So,
PPO.
so that's not an issue now. You can transfer that stipend to me.
No problem.
Okay, guys, thank you. That's all about this podcast. And if you have any query, yeah, you can leave the comment in comment section, and you can directly message us on our LinkedIn profile. Thank you.
Thank you so much.